Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Bros Talk Football. Here we're going to just recap week 3 in the NFL, and we're also going to lean into week 4 and see how we did. Again, my name is John. My team's name is The Wrath of Khan. Unfortunately, I lost last week, so I'm 1-2.
My name is Ace. My team name is That Base Life. Luckily, I won last week, and I'm 2-1.
And I'm Andre, and Jack Package is also 2-1.
Unfortunately, the reason why I lost was because I didn't start my starters.
That's the number one rule, we think, in fantasy football.
We talked about it last week.
You always start your starters.
And, my mistake. Maurice Jones-Drew was probable for a game. Didn't know if he was going to play. I went Andre Roberts. Found out Maurice Jones-Drew was going to play. Still a bit skeptical. Didn't start him. Also didn't start Josh Gordon. Lost by 6.
He went off last week.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we might have talked about this last week. I liked Gordon.
I liked Roberts.
Like you mentioned now, like a lot of people probably aren't going to have Josh Gordon because
he was inactive.
Okay.
Another wide receiver that I like is Andre Roberts.
Let me run that back for you.
Another wide receiver that I like is Andre Roberts.
Alright.
I was kind of high up on Fred Jackson.
So, I get the moment of the week, and you always start your starters. That's what you gotta do.
I mean, to be fair though, Jones-Drew was questionable early, for the first game, so you couldn't wait until 1 o'clock to find out if he was going to play, and if he didn't, then you'd have to switch up and find no one to plug in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of tough when there's players playing for the 1 o'clock Pacific time, the 4 o'clock start time. You can't have as much leeway when you're trying to pick the rosters. So
fair enough.
You kind of made the right call, but still.
Well, I could have started Gordon. I could have started Gordon instead of Rob. That's why I'm 1-2.
The commish?
That's why I'm 1-2.
1-2, huh?
The commissioner?
I don't know what that's like.
But let's talk about that Denver-Oakland game.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying, when the running backs rock paper scissors for who's gonna score. That's pretty embarrassing.
All right, yeah, I was wrong. I took the Raiders.
Dead
I think
wrong.
he also gets a...
I'll learn my lesson. So, what happened week 3 though? Any bright stars for you guys?
Well, going on starting your starters. Luckily, I still won, but I had Russell Wilson on the bench, who was my starter. I ended up starting Sam Bradford. Luckily, I won once again. He scored 31 points. Sam Bradford only gave me 18, but my running back crew came up big for me this week. Alfred Morris, he gave me a solid 12 points.
Nice.
Not bad.
My waiver wire pickup of the week was Jacques Bell. I don't want to wish... Jacques Bell. That's what we call him in the hood.
Him and Jacques Cousteau,
exactly.
The
But yeah, he gave me 18 points.
Solid.
Reggie Bush is coming back this week, so I don't know how much consistency is he going to still produce for me, but luckily my running crew gave me some solid points.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you unfortunately couldn't pull in the win.
I
Did you have
couldn't
anyone that was kind of just not working for you?
Well,
or?
Tom Brady's just killing me right now.
Okay.
They're winning games just 3-0. He's only giving me 15 points. I mean, I'm kind of spoiled because I had him last season. He'd give me 23, 25 points.
Right.
Hurting, but overall, I mean, my players just didn't perform to their level. I had, Julio Jones, Reggie Wayne, they were okay.
But Tom Brady, he's still missing key starters.
True.
He lost his receiving core, and now, Danny Amendola was supposed to pick up the slack for Wes Welker, and he's injured. Rob is, Gronkowski is going to be coming back, so hopefully that can also free up some time for Stephen Ridley.
Yeah,
and then you get the running game going, which will always, lead up to their passing.
That's the thing. Brady always gets numbers. Some players, they start off slow, and then by the end of the season, they have great numbers. So when you're looking at the sports books for the next draft, you're like, how did this guy end up with 1,300 yards or whatever? I think those players are gonna really blow up second half of the season. So I'd say stick with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. But
yeah. But I did have Green Bay defense, which I've been high on since the offseason. I've always liked opportunistic defenses in fantasy.
Okay.
They may give up points, but I mean they were killing it. They just destroyed Cincy. Fantasy wise, they had fumble recoveries, a pick six, sacks. Like they're just an opportunistic defense, and I'm just high on them. So very
Like
very
in
happy
that
with
over more of like than the San Fran type of D, where it's just more lockdown, but
Yeah.
they might not get as many turnovers or
fair enough. I mean,
risk reward.
like a Seattle, Chicago, they're just very solid and opportunistic. You know, that's always a possibility to go with. But I just like the opportunity. If I couldn't get them, if I'm not gonna get the first defense, then I'm not gonna worry too much about who I get.
Well, Jack Package, the manly Jack Package, was just sitting around having some of that banquet beer, as he's known to do. We actually had a pretty solid game. I had to put in Cameron, Jordan Cameron,
You had a really good
from my bench to starting because Vernon Davis was not going to play. So luckily, I didn't have to have the stress of making the call. It was just, hey, Davis is not playing. I'll put him in, and Cameron's been killing it. And also Cam Newton also killed it. And a lot of people have been wondering when he was going to come around, really stressing because he even had a so-so year last year. He ended up with the numbers, like I said. Players will
later
do.
part of the year. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
the later part, but he wasn't having that leadership. A lot of questions. He wasn't doing that much, which is weird because you want someone to have that swagger and that vibe going. But for Jack Package, it was the day of the Cams, Cam Newton and Jordan Cameron for me personally. So
Nice.
Congrats.
worked out.
Definitely. Now going into week 4, any concerns with your team? Any type of players that you're looking at to maybe pick up? What do you guys think?
If I can recall, last week I was talking about a certain player. I'm trying to pick up Fred Jackson, who's still widely available in a lot of waiver wires right now, because he's going to start splitting the carry load with C.J. Spiller.
Let me run that back for you.
Well, C.J. Spiller looks like he's going to be out for a couple of weeks with some injuries, and Fred Jackson, I did mention that they're going to be splitting carries, and with C.J. Spiller out, it looks like Fred Jackson's going to get that load on him, and he was producing a couple of years back, and he's looking pretty solid now. So
Right.
Fred Jackson's still widely available. So if you can pick him up,
Yeah.
good pickup.
That's cool.
Definitely. I'm looking more to defense again. A defense that they've been doing well, and I was kind of questioning, but they looked ridiculously good Thursday night with the Kansas City defense.
Oh yeah, really.
I mean,
really
they
Yeah.
put the
20 plus
clamp.
points,
Yeah, they
yeah.
put the clamps on Philadelphia, who's been just torching people. So I
And
mean,
they're still available in some leagues, huh?
my league, they're available. I'm pretty content with Green Bay, but I mean, for the most part, Kansas City
Yeah.
looks scary good right now. Defensively, they're just doing it. They're
Well, you
doing
better
it.
hope the kelp in your league doesn't pick up Kansas City D if they're watching this. So you better go pick them up right away.
I know those guys.
For me, I do have a little worry, but also kind of an interesting strategy. I was really excited when the big trade went down with Trent Richardson because I am a Trent Richardson owner. Him going to a really strong team to the Colts from the Browns. I thought oh, this is perfect. This is making my pick. He's going to have a lot more value. He's just going to pwn and just dominate. So I was really excited. And it turned out I even had Ahmad Bradshaw on the bench because I was playing him just in case.
Wow.
Started Richardson. He had a touchdown, but didn't do much for his yards. Bradshaw really showed up with a strong performance, about
Definitely.
95 yards, touchdown. He kind of did what I was expecting him to do when he's fully healthy, because he was a beast on
The
Giants.
Giants,
I don't know
for
why
sure.
they let him go. But what I'm thinking about doing is I'm probably going to start both of them. And just, whatever that team gets run-wise that day, that's going to be all me. And it seems kind of risky, if their team struggles, then I get hit pretty hard, but I feel like it's a good mediation. You have a good middle ground, and you'll kind of get some sort of points either way. There's no, oh, the backup running back came in and sniped a touchdown, and you're furious. There's no Michael Bush action going on for me,
Yeah,
basically.
for sure. And I mean, they're playing Jacksonville,
Yeah.
so say they get a big lead, like
They're
you're
gonna
saying,
they're gonna run out
around
the clock.
Gonna be a lot of more rushing yards. Bradshaw's a stud. Richardson's still a stud. So say Bradshaw starts the game, does his thing, gets his points. They're up 17 points or whatever. They're gonna bring in Richardson, kind of get accustomed to the offense. That can be good.
I've seen it work. This guy in my league a couple years ago, his name was Big Bush. He actually had Foster and Ben Tate.
Boy, you are the goddamn devil.
And
Wow.
he was getting it where both guys had 100 yards in the game and touchdowns. And like I was like, this guy is the damn devil.
That guy's the devil.
He's the damn devil.
He's drinking some kind of special juice.
All that concoction in his punch. So, you know, I'm kind of stealing that from him, but it worked, and I think it's going to work this week. So if you had Bradshaw and somehow got Trent, or people drop Bradshaw, pick him up and try maybe give it a go.
Yeah, he definitely was dropped. I mean, even in my league, he was dropped.
Second week he was dropped as well too.
Definitely
Okay,
he was dropped.
okay.
So good
So I
point.
just
Good
wanted
point.
to
Say for the game of the week, at least the game that I'm interested in watching. You know, just to be a fantasy owner, but also just for the entertainment of the NFL. The Giants game against Kansas City. Giants are 0-3. Surprise.
Never thought that would happen.
Kansas City's
that's a big
3-0.
That's a big surprise for me too. Like,
As
the Giants
much as I
0-3.
love to see it with pouty face Eli, like it looked like somebody stole his like Teddy Graham crackers and
Someone
stuff.
give him a juice box or something.
Please.
Somebody give him a juice box. I mean, all that pouting. So I mean, I'm loving seeing that and just watching that whole go down flames. And
Yeah.
Kansas City, like
3-0. I mean,
another big surprise.
that could be an interesting game. Could you imagine Kansas City being 4-0 and the Giants being 0-4? It's something I just think being a fan.
The redemption team. You know,
Yeah.
Alex
Wild
Smith was
dreams.
dropped by San Francisco.
Right.
Andy
By
Reid was let go. So you know they both came together and it looks like it's really working for them. The chemistry's working. So they are a soft 3-0, like you know we did mention earlier, but just still 3-0. So it's a battle of 3-0.
They're win.
0-3,
They're getting
so,
the W's.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that call.
Yeah.
That call. Pick of the game.
So yeah, just wanna.
Who do you taking it then?
I'm Kansas City. I mean, they look scary. They got a run game. They got a quarterback that doesn't lose the game for them.
Right.
They're just doing it big.
Let's give me a surprise pick. I'm going for the Giants. Coughlin.
Yeah, there you
Job
go.
is on the line.
That a kid.
Eli Manning is feeling real dumb while Peyton Manning is lining up. So I'm going to go for the Giants in this one. I think they're going to get their first win. Kansas City is going to drop the ball on this one, and I'm going to go for Giants.
Now, I really kind of embarrassed myself with the Oakland pick, so unfortunately I'm going to have to do it again and pick the Giants. I'm going to go with the Giants, and I think they're going to show that Kansas City is kind of a soft 3-0, nothing too dominant, and I think Victor Cruz is going to be doing a whole bunch of salsas and sambas, merengues and cumbias and tostadas and all that stuff. He's going to be killing them, so that's my pick.
Okay.
Alright, definitely. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, this is Bros Talk Football. Like us, subscribe to us, please, and we'll see you next week.